Well, greetings, everyone. My name is Libby Bonnell. I'm one of the Assistant Directors of Admissions at Grand Valley State University. Delighted to have all of you here today. You're joining us for what we call a mini session. You'll be hearing from each school for about 5 minutes apiece. They are all a part of the College of Community and Public Service. First, you're going to be hearing from criminal justice, and then public, nonprofit, and health administration, followed by social work, and we'll wrap up with hospitality and tourism management. Now, I'm going to be behind the scenes to answer any questions through the Q&A feature, so feel free to ask away throughout the presentation, and then we'll wrap up at the end to address any questions that may or may not have been answered. So let's dive in. I'll hand it over now to criminal justice.
Hello, my name is Packy Gherkin, and I am the Director of the School of Criminal Justice at Grand Valley State University. I am joined by my colleague, Dr. Jennifer Marson, another faculty member in the School of Criminal Justice. And so we're going to tag team this a little bit today, and I will kick things off. I have 6 slides and 5 minutes, so I better get to work, right? And if I have shared my screen, that should work. Is that correct? Maybe? Can you guys see my screen?
No, I don't see it.
Oh boy, I'm eating into my time already. Oh, let's see here. Let's try this. How about now?
No.
Oh no.
Hey, Packy, try closing.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
There we go. All right. So quick, School of Criminal Justice, Grand Valley State University, right? I think we've done the introductions. That's me again, Packy Gherkin, Director of the School of Criminal Justice, and joined by my colleague, Dr. Jennifer Marson. Within the School of Criminal Justice, we actually have a lot of programs. We have a program for legal studies, for example, that's housed within the School of Criminal Justice. And so I have some of the major and minor combinations. And of course, you can actually combine any of these. And so it's not uncommon for us to have a criminal justice major with a legal studies minor, or for that matter, a criminal justice major with a legal studies major. You can actually major in both of them within the School of Criminal Justice, so double major. We're also a relatively small program credits wise, so we also get a lot of double majors with criminal justice and various other disciplines. One really popular one, because psychology is, believe it or not, a small major as well. For example, we have a lot of criminal justice and psychology majors. But we have our criminal justice major or minor, legal studies major or minor. You can also minor in juvenile justice. We're actually, I think, the only academic program in the state of Michigan to have a specific emphasis or a minor, or for that matter, a major in juvenile justice. So we're really proud of that. We have that minor in juvenile justice, and we are part of the minor in information systems security. And that's actually housed in the computer science department, but we have a significant number of courses in that minor. And we also have a master's in criminal justice, but it's going to be a few years before we're talking to you about the master's in criminal justice program. We also have a police academy as part of the School of Criminal Justice, and we are real excited. Actually, this was part of our announcement that we're actually ramping things up in the School of Criminal Justice. We used to offer one police academy, and it was offered in the summer. And we're about to start expanding that, and we're actually going to offer the police academy in both the summer, and then we're going to follow that with another academy in the fall. And that's largely driven by demand at this point. Our product, so to speak, our cadets are in high demand. I encourage you, one thing I'd encourage you to do, if this is the route that you're thinking going, and we're recognizing that many students are not actually headed in the direction of working in the world of law enforcement, but if you are, I would strongly encourage you to do a comparison of police academies in the state of Michigan. And I'm confident that if you do that, you will find that you would be wise to come to Grand Valley State University and end up attending our police academy. You can actually make the last 15 credits of your academic career can actually be satisfied by completing the police academy. Of course, the culminating experience is the MCOLS licensing exam. And that's where you actually become licensed to be a police officer in the state of Michigan. So MCOLS stands for Michigan Commission on Law Enforcement Standards. One of the things that you will find on the School of Criminal Justice webpage is lots of statistics about our police academy, including things like employment rate, including things like pass-fail rate for the MCOLS licensing exams, including things like pass-fail for other aspects of the MCOLS required training components. And I would encourage you to take a look at ours, and I would encourage you to ask other academies to share that information with you as well. Some of them won't be so quick to share that information, but we publish ours. We're really proud of it right on the School of Criminal Justice website. Jen Marson's going to talk a little bit about this because she's one of our faculty who is involved in the Inside Out Prison Exchange program.
Okay. Like Dr. Gerken said, my name is Dr. Jennifer Marson-Reed, and I'm an assistant professor in the School of Criminal Justice. And I'm just going to chat with you briefly about a course that we offer every fall in non-COVID times. It's CJ 360, the Inside Out Prison Exchange Program. And just a little bit of brief history. Lori Pompa started the Inside Out program in 1997 as a way to facilitate an educational experience between inside students or incarcerated students and outside students or students that are attending a particular university. We're one of the few, if not the only, Packy, you may have to correct me on that, universities in the state of Michigan that offer this program. And what it looks like at Grand Valley is that every fall, 15 Grand Valley students are selected to attend a regular course, criminal justice course, with 15 inside students at the Michigan Reformatory in Ionia. The class that we have it's a very particular curriculum, but inside and outside students attend class together every week inside of a prison facility. The expectations are the same for students. You work in group projects. It's an absolutely wonderful, amazing, unique program that students overwhelmingly say is incredibly transformative and eye-opening, and it gives them kind of a different lens with which to view incarceration through. And it's primarily, obviously, criminal justice students who utilize their experience in any field. Most of our students are not going to be police officers. Many criminal justice majors go on to work with victim advocacy, a variety of juvenile justice projects. So wherever CJ students end up, this experience has it's really been transformative for outside and inside students. I would strongly encourage all of you to look up the program a little bit more or shoot me an email. I'll post in the notes my email address. It's a very competitive program here at Grand Valley. I think this last semester, we had a 20% acceptance rate. There's an application process. There's an interview process. You typically, the seniors typically are the ones that attend the class, but obviously if you're a junior, you can apply. But again, it's a very kind of rigorous application process. You will be getting, or pardon me, maybe not you necessarily, but the School of Criminal Justice will put out a call for applications in January. Again, if you want more information on that, you can shoot me an email. But if you are looking for a really, really unique, transformative experience, I would strongly encourage you to apply for the program or just reach out with any questions that you have about it.
Great, thank you, Jen. Another opportunity that you have to get some experiential learning experience is internships. And so I think you all probably understand and know what internships are, but we have a wide variety. We have a dedicated internship coordinator, and she is a former juvenile justice practitioner in Kent County and is very well connected to the criminal justice system in Kent County. And she facilitates and helps students line up internships with well, they run the full range of criminal justice sorts of careers, the entire world of law enforcement, local law enforcement, state law enforcement, federal law enforcement, the world of courts, and on into the world of corrections, as Jen mentioned, victim services and other components of the criminal justice system as well. So we really encourage you to get that experiential learning experience, because there's just so many valuable lessons and experiences and resume builders that you can pick up along the way. Finally, I would say, without going into too much detail about our faculty, we just have an incredible group of faculty. All of our tenure stream faculty, all of them have PhDs or terminal degrees in criminal justice or related programs. Many of them have practical work experience, and I can say also that our adjuncts are an incredible group of people who are currently working. Many of them are currently working in the criminal justice system. Spoke with one this morning, a retired court administrator, has been working as a court administrator for the last 25 years. We have federal law enforcement officers who teach things like criminal investigation in our program. So we've got a great bunch of faculty tenure track as well as adjunct with a ton of expertise. So make sure you pop on over to the School of Criminal Justice website and check them out. Thank you so much. I'm sure we went over our 5 minutes. I believe that Quincy is up next.
Hi, everyone. Quincy Williams, undergraduate coordinator and director for the School of Public, Nonprofit, and Health Administration. We are a Bachelor's of Arts and Bachelor's of Science program that we offer for our undergraduate students. We have roughly a 90 to 92% placement, and those placements are students who have gained meaningful employment or have decided to go on to graduate school. Also within our school, we have 3 graduate programs. One is in the Master's of Public Administration, which is better known as our MPA program. We also have one in the Master's of Health Administration, also known as our MHA program. And then we also have a Master's of Nonprofit Philanthropic Leadership. Our undergraduate program consists of 36 hours, much like the College of Criminal Justice mentioned earlier by Dr. Gerke, is that a lot of our students are dual majors, and they will usually pick up minors from other programs. So quite often you will see students picking up general business, psychology, and various other programs such as that they can cross-pollinate the various programs. So within the School of Public and Nonprofit and Health Administration, we have a few areas of focus that we like to focus on, which is primarily the management process of public and nonprofit agencies. And we really focus on those that serve and improve our communities. Volunteerism is a very important and key component of our program. So quite often you will see within our program, which is a very hands-on practical experience, is that a lot of our programming classes and experimental and community engaged activities are hands-on. So quite often you will see community engagement, community development, and we offer practicums and internships, which are part of the program. Students or undergraduates are required to take 150 hours, of internships, or 3 credit hours, or they may take up to 6 credit hours and 300 hours. Throughout our program, there are a variety of scholarships that are outside that are available to our students. Some come from various nonprofit sector partnerships that we have from our alumni and others that are such. We have a program called Students Leaving a Mark, better known as SLAM. With that, we partner with a variety of programs across the university, and we go out and we engage our students in a broad perspective of civic engagement outside the state of Michigan. We do a lot of domestic related service learning, in which we go to different parts across the United States to help those in need. Quite often we have a tendency to focus on areas where there has been a natural disaster or just a community that's in need. Within public and nonprofit administration, here on this slide, it talks a little bit about our career guide, our advising guide, And we highly encourage, or matter of fact, we require students to engage with the Undergraduate Academic Advising Center. With the Academic Advising Center, students are assigned an academic advisor, and students work, or academic advisors work with our students from beginning to end. So when you first come in the program, all the way to the end, they meet with each student every semester to make sure that students are on track so that we can get them out in a timely fashion. Here's a little bit about our advising and career guides. It's pretty intensive, not intensive, but pretty laborious as far as the requirements in which we have, which you can find here. Our students have 5 areas of concentration or emphasis. One is community development. The other one is community health, local economic development, public and nonprofit budgeting and finance, and our public personnel management. Once again, 36 credit hours are required for the program. In each emphasis area, students are required to do 9 to 12 credit hours within their emphasis. And then we have our core general group of classes that are required. So nutshell, hopefully under 5 minutes here, this kind of gives you a background, a little bit about the School of Public, Nonprofit, and Health Administration here at Grand Valley. And I'm going to pass it on next to social work and Dr. Scott Berlin.
Scott, you're still muted, my friend.
Thank you. I always forget the mute button. We can all see the slides, yes? Wonderful. So hi, everyone. I am Scott Berlin. I'm the director of the School of Social Work here at Grand Valley. I'm going to tell you a little bit about sort of careers in social work and what makes us excited to be social workers. I think most social workers you meet are pretty excited to be social workers. I think most of the faculty you'll meet here are excited to be social workers. So oftentimes when I meet folks, I ask them why they want to be social workers, and I think they want to help, right? So we are a profession of helpers. I think empathy is probably one of those important skills to have as you begin to consider social work. Understanding and appreciation of diversity and cultural competence and social justice and human rights. I think we often see ourselves in social work as change agents. So we want to make the world a better place to live for ourselves and our communities. I'm going to mostly tell you about the BSW program, or the Bachelor of Social Work. I will sort of talk about the Master of Social Work quickly, though, because for folks who go through a bachelor's program like ours, you can usually get a master's degree in 1 additional year of study. So that's kind of a cool thing, in that folks can come here as freshmen and 5 years later have a bachelor's and a master's degree in social work. I think social work, and we'll talk about sort of the different things, but we work sort of across different different contexts. So we work with individuals, so that's people one-on-one. We work with families and groups and communities. So really at all different levels of our world. I think what I love most about social work is that it's a very broad profession. You really can do lots of different things, right? And so maybe you've done social work in one area and you get sick of it, and then you can sort of do something totally different and it's still social work. For those of you who aren't super familiar with social work, we're in lots of different places. I'm not going to talk about all these boxes. There's a lot of them. But child welfare is one of those areas that I think is probably what most people know about social workers. So things like foster care and adoption and child protective services. So really helping families to do better, helping kids that might be in danger. All of those, I guess, jobs are social work jobs. Most child welfare jobs are BSW level or bachelor's level. And so that's still the biggest area where social workers are, is in child welfare. In addition, social workers are in schools. So sometimes kids struggle in school and maybe they need to talk to a social worker because they're having some social and emotional reasons for not succeeding. Criminal justice and corrections. Lots of probation officers and people who work in the courts are social workers. Healthcare settings, so hospitals, doctor's office, have social workers that help people who are having some physical health issues, but oftentimes we know physical and emotional health are really kind of closely related. So those are sort of a few of the areas I think that are really important to think about as you enter social work. I would talk about administration and public welfare. We also know that a lot of people who make policies and work in government are social workers. For example, the mayor of Grand Rapids, Rosalind Bliss, is a social worker. The president of our university, Philomena Mantella, is a social worker. So social workers can do lots of different things. And I think that that's what I love about social work. We have, sort of before we move on to this slide, we have about 20 PhD educated social work faculty who have been full-time social workers. We've worked in all kinds of different areas. So again, I think it's a large major. There are lots of students. There are lots of very exciting opportunities. For example, we have study abroad opportunities where we take groups of students to learn about social work in different places. We take a group of students to Ireland where they learn about healthcare and social work, and how the US compares to Ireland in terms of social work in healthcare. In El Salvador, we take a group of students who learn about community organizing, and human rights and social justice activities. And again, how those activities compare in the US compared to El Salvador. We also, as Quincy had mentioned earlier, we partner with public administration and we do some domestic service learning where students go and help rebuild after disasters have happened and learn about disaster relief efforts and how social workers are involved in those. So some of the places we've been: Houston, New Orleans, Flint, Mount Pleasant is a Native American community trip where students go and learn about sort of social work in Native American communities. When you're in the social work program, there are student organizations. We have a Bachelor of Social Work student organization that does lots of community work. There's lots of volunteering that takes place. You work in agencies where you learn how to be a social worker by doing. So again, I think it's a great profession and a great program. If you want to talk more, I'm the bottom name there. I'm Scott Berlin, the director of the school. Also, Dr. Sally Pallone is the BSW program director. Either of us can help you. Also, I encourage you to go to our website where you can get a lot more information about the bachelor's program. There's a drop-down menu that says BSW program, so take a look at that. Otherwise, I think I'm good. I'll turn it over to Scott Rude from Hospitality and Tourism Management. So thanks, and give us a call. You're muted.
Yeah, well, that's what we Scots do, right? Let me get something up here for us. All right. So Scott Root, the chair of the Department of Hospitality and Tourism Management. I'll just tell you a little bit that probably something you already know, and that is we work in businesses and agencies that provide fun. We're a place that people come to when they want to enjoy themselves. And so if you want to have a job where you can have fun every day, then someplace within hospitality and tourism management should appeal to you. We are the world's largest employer. 1 out of 10 people worldwide works in the hospitality and tourism industry. And, we like to think that we are a big tent. So within this big tent, we have a core curriculum where our students take a variety of classes from hospitality marketing to hospitality law and hospitality decision making and such. But we also have a couple of options for our students that you see under degree options there to the left. So the way our curriculum is configured is that students take a core group of classes and then they pick 2 of these career concentrations. So are you interested in food and beverage management? Are you interested in lodging management, or perhaps meeting and event management? Recreation and leisure management is our newest concentration, and we have tourism management as well. So we have you pick 2 of those, as a way of learning as much about our industry as possible. I'll also say, like the other programs you've heard described, we have a rather robust internship program where you have an opportunity to test drive, different parts of the industry. So you have a first internship, perhaps working behind the front desk at a hotel, or maybe your second internship is doing some catering sales work, or, so you have this opportunity in 3 different progressive internships to try different parts of the industry. And some of the opportunities that are available are listed there on the right, and they're just really a small list of some of the opportunities that are available, from being a catering coordinator or director of food service. I might add that we teach management skills here, so we're not a culinary program. So the culinary people do a great job running the back of the restaurant. We try to teach the front end of it. We have many of our grads that work as hotel managers, event managers, corporate travel managers. A number of our alums are working at Disney. Perhaps they went to the Disney College program as part of their time here at Grand Valley and fell in love with that. And afterwards, were fortunate enough to be hired into Disney. I think at last count, I identified 45 of our alums that are working at Disney. But again, this is a big tent umbrella. We are the only hospitality and tourism management combo program in the state of Michigan. And we are the only program in the nation that offers this particular configuration of career concentrations and choices. Like the other people you heard speak before me, we also have a couple of different minors. Our HTM minor is a relatively unique minor in that you take our 101 introductory class to hospitality and tourism, and then you sit down with one of us faculty members, and we'll plan a course of studies for you where you pick the classes that are of interest to you. I'm not aware of any other minor that's like that. We have a relatively unique adventure tourism minor. Some of our students major in hospitality tourism management and pick up the adventure tourism minor, or we have sport management majors that pick up the adventure tourism minor. So there's lots of ways to mix and match this together. Notwithstanding these challenging times that we find ourselves in with the COVID virus, we know that this is a robust industry. We know that when we turn the corner from this, that there are going to be a plethora of opportunities So this would be a good time to come in to the university to begin a program like this. And upon graduation, the whole world is going to look a lot different with many more opportunities for you. Down at the bottom of this slide, you can see that we're giving a little push to our College Advising Center. We're also certainly welcome your reach out directly to us. So thank you for letting me talk to you about something that I think we're very excited about, and that is working in an area where people come to have a good time.